Hey, problem solvers, welcome. Welcome to IDS-410, Problem Solving for Social Change. Is your mind blown that you're going to be in this class? Mine is. My name is Michael Fayer. You can call me Professor Fayer, Mr. Fayer. If you want to call me Michael, you better, no, it's fine. But if anybody calls me Mike, anyways. How you doing? It's so nice to see you. This is my second go-through, so you're going to have the benefit of my experience of teaching this class. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I have taught at Arizona State University full-time as an instructor. I taught interdisciplinary studies. I taught organizational leadership. I taught a research class much like this one. And I did that for about 6 years, and then they decided not to renew a bunch of contracts because of COVID, etc. And I got kicked out, and I'm still bitter. No, I like to resonate some way with my students, and I'm going to go give you a quick little background, and there'll probably be something there that resonates with you. Okay. Do you like Key West, by the way? I'm not in Key West. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, where it's 100 billion degrees. But I do have a more of a tropical attitude. So, anyways, I didn't go to college till I was 52, and I graduated with my undergrad at 56. I took interdisciplinary studies, and my concentrations at Arizona State University were Human Rights and African American Studies. I was named the Graduate of the Year in the College of Letters and Science. There it is. Wait. Why am I pointing? Oh, it's on this side. There. That's a thing that says it, and there's me with the college president, Michael Crow. In 2013, I was the Graduate of the Year for the College of Letters and Sciences, and I was the Academic of the Year in African American Studies, and I have my something's up here somewhere. I think that's it right there. So I'm proud of those things. Working, and then they recruited me to teach right away because I've had 44 different jobs in my life, okay? And this is where I can resonate with a lot of people. Of course, I've had the blue collar stuff, and I've worked in agriculture. I've been a migrant worker. I was a shoe repair guy. I was factory worker, forklift driver, truck driver, school bus driver, restaurant. I mean, it was a whole myriad. Bowling alley, gas station. And then I was doing a lot of photography. I didn't shoot for money for a while, but I started taking pictures in the 70s. I just sent some of my buddies pictures from our 8th grade graduation in 1972. And I said, don't you remember when we talked about being fathers and grandfathers 52 years later? No. So I was kind of like the documentarian of my group of friends who I'm still friendly with, like a brotherhood almost. And I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I got an accent in Wisconsin. Milwaukee is not a horrible city. It's actually a wonderful place to be from. It's horrible in many other ways, but so are a lot of places, and we want to make them better through social change, right? I was in law enforcement. I worked as a sergeant for Milwaukee County in the jails. I was the leader of the emergency response team. I moved out to Phoenix, and I started working in Maricopa County as a detention officer. If anybody knows Sheriff Joe, that's a guy you won't forget. I worked there for a little while. Then I said, no, this is the Wild Wild West. I got out of that, and I got into technology, mostly in sales in the late 90s when 2 megs of RAM was a big upgrade. And, I'd sell somebody a 1 gig hard drive, be like, well, they're done. That's all they're going to ever need, right? But I'd still do that as my side hustle to this day. I was doing it full time for Insight Enterprises, for Microwave, and now for Virtual Communications out of Texas. I'm just a little side guy. I got one client in South Carolina. They've been buying from me since 1997, and so it's just like gas money. So I like still doing that. So I got into that, and I also then became a single dad, and I raised my 2 sons myself. So any single parents out there, I feel you. I was 24/7, 365. I did. My oldest son is 32. My youngest is 24. My oldest graduated from Arizona State with a journalism degree, and my youngest just got his master's last month from Arizona State in history. He works at the Tempe History Museum as a collections assistant, and happens to be my roommate right now, but he won't be getting up. It's only 9:30, at least 2 more hours. He's off on Mondays. But I'm proud of both my kids, and I went to ASU also. Awkward for my oldest son. We were at ASU at the same time. I don't think you're supposed to see your dad, going by on a skateboard saying, "Hey, what's up, cool kids?" No, I didn't do that. While I was before I was in college though, and as a single dad, I was working online. I was still, before all this happened, I still was an online guy. And I had time, so I was a youth soccer coach and everything. And then I was in this thing called couch surfing. That was before Airbnb. And it was fun to meet people from all over the world and to host people. And I got involved with a couple of people who were involved with Lutheran Social Services of the Southwest. It's a mouthful. And I became a volunteer, mentor, instructor of recently resettled refugees. Why all these words? Tongue twisters in Phoenix. So I worked a lot with resettled refugees. I felt really good about being boots on the ground, front line, doing something that was tangible, right? Not just posting on Twitter, like that cat, a cat meme. I was actually out there, and I met some great people from families from Eritrea and South Sudan and all over the world. Cuban. I became an instructor for them. I taught orientation to Phoenix, as well as getting job skills, job interviews, and technology. It was fun. I'll never forget, one day I was teaching orientation, and I had 7 little families or whatever, and all 7 had their own interpreter, right? Because they were from Cuba, they were from Cameroon, they were from Iraq, they were from like Nepal or something up there. I forget what it is. It's Burma, I don't know, and then of course there was, like I said, Eritrean and Sudanese. So that was really rewarding for me, and that's what kind of drove me into college. Well, I was also an artist. Okay, skip back to 2007. I flew to Ghana in West Africa with a guy named Stevie Wonder, and I was shooting photography at that time and getting into a lot of West African music and things, and I had a little spare change, and I said, where am I going to go? And I basically threw a dart at my map. It's a big one. And Ghana came up. No, I did more research than that. But as an English-speaking country, and one that was going to be celebrating their 50th Independence Day, they were the first sub-Saharan country in Africa to gain independence from colonialism. I thought, I'm going. And hooked up, and Stevie Wonder got on a plane in Atlanta. And we all got to say hi to him and stuff. So I wasn't really with him. I just, that's just break. It's my oral history. But I did, but he was on a plane with us as we flew into Accra. And he actually waited on the plane after 13 hours sitting in that sucker, and he got to say hi to everybody going by, and that was fun. But I took a lot of images in Ghana, went to slave forts, went to Kumasi, and went to, I was in Accra and Cape Coast. I came home, and I had my own giant printer, and I was printing on canvas, and I did a lot of multimedia stuff, painting with acrylics, photography, printed my own stuff, and I started marketing it, selling it either exhibiting it as art, selling it at markets, First Friday here in Phoenix, things like that, and it was very rewarding for me. My website is michaelmufasa.com. It was a nickname I earned as the let's face it, the old white guy in African studies at ASU, and my fellow students kind of nicknamed me Michael Mufasa. So I took that on, and that's my website, but it's old and it hasn't been updated, but a lot of my images are there. And so I got into all this, and I decided, let's add some academics to this, to my interest. I was actually, with Juneteenth coming up, happy Juneteenth for those who celebrate, and happy Father's Day for those who celebrate. I was a featured artist at the Phoenix Valley of the Sun Juneteenth Day in 2010 and 11. And that was right when I had started, went back to college, and I integrated, that's interdisciplinary, it's integration. I integrated my art with academics, with solid science, if you will, or facts. So when I put up a booth and I had my images and my installations, and it was coupled with discoveries of the last slave boat that came into the U.S. with manifests of names and things, it was really rewarding. So I got to do that. I worked with one.org, that's Bono, and I was in the 360 tour here with Bono, and I mean U2 and the Black Eyed Peas. I was a photographer. I was a photographer for Amnesty International, and so I've been out there. I like it, love it. I haven't done it as much ever since these damn iPhones. Everybody's so good at photography now. And that, but I have a nice collection. And then I became a writer, and I've written and I was published online, and I'm proud of that. I write flash fiction, and also made a film. I made an oral history, and that was I was recommended to submit it to PBS, and I never did. I didn't like it because it was 33 minutes. That was such an odd time. But that was that's on my website too. So I've done the filmmaking, writing, photography, law enforcement, entrepreneur, business, grunt work. So, I like to think, single parent, late start in college, whatever resonates with you, I hear you. This course is wonderful. Like I said, you're reaping the benefits of my previous experience teaching it. So I know now what's coming and what might be helpful for you. First thing I want to say is get a hold of me. Don't spin your wheels, okay? Send me an email. I am very responsive. You're not going to believe how responsive it is. I am so responsive, you're going to say, this guy has no life, which is true. But I will respond. We'll set up a call. We'll talk. I guarantee you'll feel better about this. I had a student last session who emailed me. She goes, I'm getting this vibe that you don't like me because I don't know if it's my topic. And I said, the name. I said, no, you got to set up a call with me. I don't feel that way at all. We got to, it was a miscommunication, what have you. And we spoke, and oh my God, she's in a solid A position right now, finishing up. I mean, I think she went to Italy for vacation, and she's still working hard from there. But so everybody's got their real life things. I understand that completely. So try me out. If I want to get, if we got to talk something through, we'll do it. So you can know what I expect from an academic level, and then I can know what you were thinking, and we can come to, a good communication. So I want to really emphasize that. Get a hold of me. Now in this class, some of you are going to be writing the longest paper you ever wrote in college. Great, okay. But guess what? You are in a 410, 400 level class. That's as high as it gets in undergrad. And I know because you had to do a lot to get here that you're invested in your results. And so it's really a great feeling for me, not to say nothing's wrong with college freshmen or anything like that, but sometimes people are still like, well, I don't know if I need to go. My parents want me here. I don't know. I mean, work is still. But by the time you get to this point, you can smell that finish line. You can see it coming. And you're like, I want to get there. So you're invested. I like that because we can really get things done that way. This class is about problem solving for social change, and I want to emphasize at a local level, at a community level, or a community. Find a community. Now, community can be spread out, but here's what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to solve Israel, Palestine, okay? As much as I'd love for you to do it, and I'd nominate you for a Nobel Prize if my word meant anything, but we're not solving these huge things. We're not going to solve climate change globally. We're not going to solve sustainability nationally. But we can problem solve smaller communities, bring it down. I want you to think realistically here. I have a handful of students in the class before that. I mean, I'm like, this is great. This is just what we want. I mean, when we're talking about setting up advocacy and putting together a meeting or some community meeting, price out solo cups. How much are they? What are you going to need? How much are donuts? What are you going to need? Be real about this. Okay, now I have my oldest son and his fiance were posting like mad on Israel, Gaza, and blah 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 blah. You know, and not to take sides or anything like that, but he said, "Dad, why aren't you posting anything?" I said, "Because posting, I might have been on Twitter for 12, 14 years. It ain't gonna do anything." And I challenge my kids to get their boots on the ground and get in the front line, not to fly over there, but as I did when I worked with recently resettled refugees. When you do in your community, for example, if a student wanted to jump on the Palestine-Gaza, Israel thing, let's take it locally. Where you are in the city, where you are, whatever, is there a mosque? Is there a temple? Are they working together to communicate, to take down the polarizing vitriol? Because that's where these things are going to end up getting solved. Not with hate like this, right? It's with integration. So I'm just saying, not that anybody has to take that on, but if someone wanted to take that on, I would say, look, because I know here in Tempe, near ASU, there's a mosque, the Tempe Mosque, and then next to it there was this Christian church, and they used to have a lot of interfaith events out there. You know, I think the church closed now, but that was truly exciting for me to see. Okay, and and I like that. So those are the things you look at it that way. Keep taking it down, right? That's what we're going to be doing here. And then we're going to go step by step by step, so that by the end of this course, which goes pretty fast, you're going to have all the makings of your paper to put it together, okay? I am going to look at APA formatting. If you don't know about that, you're going to get good at it, right? I post videos every week, once or twice, depending on what's going on. I try to be detailed, but again, get a hold of me if there's a question, because if you have a question, that means a lot of other people might have the same question, okay? There's different ways we do that, but communication's key. Just because we're online, it's not autonomous. Everything is a chronological order, as you know, because as George Carlin said, Mother Nature made time so that everything doesn't happen at once, right? So the chronology is important. If you run into issues with real life, you let me know, okay? I don't need the details, but if there's an issue that we have to work around, we'll try to do our best, right? Other than that, my videos seem to be running about 18 minutes to 22. And I want to say hi. I want to say welcome. It's great to have you. It looks like at this time we got about 29 students. I think that's fun and exciting. Again, ask me questions, what have you. We'll get into it. Start considering a topic that you might, or a problem, an issue that you might want to tackle. Okay, because we're going to do it in an academic sense, but in a real sense that you can make an impact, because you can make an impact, right? My generation, you know, in the 60s, early 70s, we had, you know, Woodstock, free love, civil rights, women's rights, LGBTQ, gay rights back then. We had all these things, you know, the folk music and everything like that. What happened? Where did it go? So now it's on, you know, everyone as we move forward, right? So talk to you soon. Again, my name is Michael Fayer, and peace out.